Welcome back to Weekend Smile. Now, you know that I like farming, right? And today we celebrate International Women's Day, International Rural Women's Day. On this day, we recognize the critical role and contribution of rural women to farming. Joining us now to share more on this topic is Latoya Rattray and Daniel Lewis. Morning, ladies. Welcome to Smile.
Hi. Hello, Debbie.
I'm very, very happy to see you both. In my mind, I'm thinking that I should have gotten a basket before we did this interview, and so we can talk about what's happening in this month of October. But welcome, ladies. Let's talk a little bit about rural women and farming in Jamaica. Just from the last season of Farm Chicks, when we did that, we kind of unpacked a couple of the discussions around, the challenges that a rural woman will be facing in farming. What has your experience been like? Latoya, let me start with you.
Thank you, Debbie, and I'm very excited to share my journey because I farm both in a rural community. I call it Bakagod. Believe you me, it is. Debbie, you should come there one of these days. And I also farm on the plains of St. Catherine, and believe you me, the experiences are different. So for example, in Clarendon, where I do my yam farming, I still use a donkey. And if you were to see the roads when it rains, you wouldn't want to venture there. So can you imagine if I still have to use a donkey and there is no road? It simply means that I cannot use technology like a tractor. Needless to say, I cannot use drip irrigation either because there is no NIC water. So the experience is different. On my experience on the plains of St. Catherine, I have access to a tractor. It makes life so much easier. It keeps more money in my pocket, so my production cost is a little bit lower. So, persons who are closer to the town center, lands that are easier to access, I believe that it is a lot easier than the experiences that rural farmers have. And I could go on about more experiences, but, let me hear what
Daniel has to say. Yes, Daniel, please chime in here. What has your experience been like?
The accessibility is one of the major challenges. And as Latoya mentioned just now, you talk about roads, the wear and tear on your vehicle, just to access your farm, just to transport your goods, transport your workers. It is ridiculous.
Where is your farm, Daniel?
I am in St. Catherine as well.
Okay. So then, do you have better equipment, access to better equipment? That's why you mentioned that she has a tractor. Do you have access to that kind of help?
Thankfully, yes, there is access to a tractor in that area. However, the limitation remains where it's the only one, and if that goes down, that's it.
Yeah. Now, apart from the access that I know for sure that our female farmers do have, what are some of the other challenges that you find that our female farmers in particular are having right now to basically pursue farming? Because a lot of them, not only are they talking about the inability to access certain equipment, but that they have come across certain prejudices in their line of work as well. Have you ever had that experience?
Oh yes, definitely. I can share an example very, very recently.
Just not call about the name, but share it.
No, we won't call the name. As general as possible. I had some sales going on, and the products were good. However, as a young female in agriculture, you're like, we can't get over this one. And they came and they started telling you what was wrong and what was this and I had to assert myself as a female to say, no, what you're saying, this is not so. And at the end of the day, it was taken well. So they will try to intimidate you being a young female, a female in the rural area as well. But we know how to handle our business.
Absolutely. Latoya?
Well, for me, it's just that sometimes when it comes down to getting help, and thank God I have some good help now, I have good workers. But in the beginning, it's a little bit difficult, especially you have mostly males that do the farm work, and so they would want to charge you more, and they would want to tell you what to do, what not to do, because you're female. They think you don't know. So I've never done anything without the support of my agronomist, and he would give me a plan, and I would say, today we are going to apply this fertilizer or that spray. And they would say, no man, I know that if you do, me I do this thing longer than you, you know. But hello, you were guessing and spelling. I paid for a soil test and my soil test is telling me that I need to apply this fertilizer. So it's things like those because you're female and some of them will go, they will tell you blatantly, yeah, man, you're new to this, you know this, a long time I do it, you know. So, you know, things like those. But as Daniel said, we know how to handle our business. And Debbie, let me just point out, I don't own a tractor. I have access to a tractor.
That's what I said. You have access to a tractor, which means as well, if there's anybody watching, I would be kind enough who would like to donate. You know, they can call Daniel and call Latoya. Ladies, I want to pull on some statistics here that were given to me by my producer, right? So it says here that about 80% of the world's food is produced by small-scale farming. Women make up an average of 43% of this agricultural labor in developing countries, Jamaica in particular, right? So when we look at, you know, the work that our female farmers are doing, and we understand that there are challenges, in fact, what though is, let's say, an ideal goal for you concerning farming in Jamaica, farming specifically for females?
Well, just access to technology. Access to technology, access to money. Those would be my two things. For example, with climate change, you realize that you have to do things differently. So things like the drip hose, you know, we're doing precise nutrient management. So, you know, we're applying the fertilizer only to the plant that needs it. So the price for the startup capital, for example, like drip hose, you know, those things are expensive. So we would want those. And I want to speak for my rural women again. Water, access to water, whether it's through, you know, NIC or we need help to do rainwater harvesting and do it properly. But the startup costs for those things are expensive. And then it comes down to access to money. For example, me, I still have my day job, and the money I get from my day job, I invest in my business. But what about those women who don't have what I have? You know, if they were to approach the bank to get a loan, they have to prove a lot of things that sometimes they don't have. Sometimes they don't even own the lands that they're on. So some of those things, you know, needs to be looked into. And I take this opportunity to say that while there are some things that need fixing, there are still some things that are going very well.
Absolutely.
We have to talk about the support that RADA gives. We have to talk about the support that AIC gives. So, you know,
there are agencies that are helping, that's for sure. Daniel, I'm about to wrap up, but I want to give you like about 20 seconds quickly if you just want to also highlight your own vision for farming, for female farmers as well.
Yeah, just to add to Latoya's money and the issue of water, I want to say land, because what I want to do is to farm commercially and do sensible production. So I want volume, and if you get volume, you need land. So I want access to not 2 acres or 5 acres, but 10 acres.
There we go.
Acres, 20 acres.
There we go.
So that's my vision.
I think that's a wonderful way to end. Ladies, may I congratulate you, both of you, you know, on the amazing work.
Debbie, if you know anybody who wants to give me 100 acres, I'm willing to.
If I know anybody, I will certainly point them in your direction. Thank you, ladies, Latoya Rattray and Daniel Lewis, two lovely female farmers. We'll be right back with more on Weekend Smile.